Hello everyone, I'm Sindhu, co-founder of Growth Circle, and in today's episode, we are super excited to have Karthi, design leader at ServiceNow. She's an entrepreneur, she's a leader, she's a writer, she's a community builder, and many more. She has been a huge inspiration for me personally, and we'll hear from Karthi more about her journey and learning. So stay tuned for the full episode. We bring more such inspiring episodes of women entrepreneurs and leaders on our channel. So Karthi, welcome to Growth Circle.
Thank you.
Really excited to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. So maybe we'll start with a quick round of intro.
Absolutely. Wow. I don't know where to start whenever this question is asked. So I'll kind of split it into professional and the personal side of things. Professionally, I would like to identify myself as a systems designer because you could be many types of designers.
Yeah.
You could be an experienced designer, interface designer, researcher. But I think systems design kind of fits in who I am. You look at the whole, you look at the parts, you look at the relationship, you look at the interconnections, you look at the non-connections. So that's the basis of any problem solving. So designers are creative problem solvers, and I think the system designer in me does the best part of that part. So yeah, it's been, oh my God, 25 years. So that's been the tenure in building software systems. So I would like to kind of, take a part of HCI, human-computer interaction, and call it as digital product design. So that's what I specialize in. That's professional side of things. What helps me do that is the basis of understanding the human system, the human performance, the human nature. So it comes from cognitive science, behavioral science, neuroscience. This trinity of sciences help me understand what doesn't change, which is all of us. And based on what doesn't change, we keep evolving the machines or product systems or services to this human. That's why we call it as man-machine interaction. In the subset of that is human-computer interaction. That's what I do. So it is not enough if you are just a designer. You need to, it is not enough if you are just a king. Sometimes you need to make kings. So as a design leader, that's what I do. I'm a kingmaker, kind of help designers to kind of come together and work towards the objectives. So that's what keeps me exciting, because you tend to work with different types of designers and also different types of stakeholders, partners. So yeah, I think it's an exciting life. I couldn't have asked for better.
Very inspiring. And for those of you watching, like I said, Karthi also wears many hats. So would love to ask this question on how she balances her professional and personal life. And today we are at her creative space, the third space. So maybe we'd love to hear about that as well.
Definitely. I don't think there is a straight answer to that question.
Yeah.
I don't think I am balanced. If you ask my family members, they will say another story. But personally, I believe we are born and we will be here at max, 100 years? So that's 36,500 days, and that's it. That's the brief life of a human. So I kind of want to see what is the max potential this life can bring. I think that's what drives me to do multiple things, because I want to know, I am curious to know like what all I can do and how we can make the earth a better place when we leave than how we found it. I think that's a very big responsibility. I don't call it as meaning or purpose. I think it's a responsibility. So that drives me to kind of do multiple things, because as an entrepreneur, you operate differently. As a community builder, that's a very different hat. As a mother, as a daughter-in-law, these are different roles that we play as a designer, as a design leader. I think it would be supremely important for each life to understand what is the max potential that it can push. I think that's the basis of all the pushing, I think.
Awesome. So Karthi, what inspired you to build PIFO? Can you talk about PIFO? What is it and what are you doing?
My previous company, Experian, if you look at the original name, looks like I can't use Experian because the government doesn't allow you to use names that are similar sounding. So we were kind of competing with Experian, the Experian. And they are a much larger company, and we were a startup. So that is why they said you need a completely different name, and that is what made us to think about what could be the other name. Though the brand name is Experian, we call it as a Pi Nation Consulting, Product Innovators Nation and Consulting, right? I kind of liked that idea that it is focused on product innovators. So when we were creating an offshoot, a foundation out of the whole idea, because I felt the story is quite tragic in one sense. I was trying to help a friend whose child was going through a medical issue, and the friend doesn't wanted the name or the details to be shared out because it is also not comfortable. Otherwise, we would have gone into other platforms like Indiegogo or a Gecko or things like that. So this time, I had to drop all my ego and ask for help. We could help whatever we could, but we needed some 17 lakhs or something like that. We were able to, kind of pull out some 7 or 8 lakhs, but the rest of it, we needed it in like a very short period of time. I didn't know what to do, and I geared up all the courage to go ahead and ask my friends, saying that if you can respect privacy, if you don't want to ask like, where am I taking this money and the details, just, this is the account and please help. And that incident, of course, we were able to do what is needed, and the baby is fine. But that incident kind of shook me to a very large extent. And it so happened that I felt so happy that we were able to help. And I had to face a question at home that why are you taking the wealth from the family and, doing your foundation work, right? And that it's a hard question. I mean, if you look at it, it's a good question as well. So I was wondering, why am I taking personal wealth? And if at all I am very interested in helping and all these causes, then it should be done by me without disturbing the other setting that I am a part of. It's basically the other system, right? You should be a subsystem of your own. I think that is what propelled me to create an entity which will do work for folks who are product innovators, because I am a part of this community, and I felt that we don't have a community for us, because we are also usually look at all the foundations. They are helping people below poverty line. There's marginalized. So it is grassroots, and it's always third world problems that foundations kind of deal with. But we are the most privileged, overpaid, highly skilled, way too intelligent, and we all also have first world problems like anxiety, not sleeping enough. I want to ask like how to grow in my career. How do I break into a FANG or a MANG or whatever acronym we are using these days? But that's where I felt we don't have anybody to talk to. We don't have friends in this modern era. So adult friendships is hard. We have a date for everything. Even for a one-night stand, you have an app, but not for adult friends, which is disturbing. And so two words came to me. One is we want to get better as an individual, and two, we want to belong as a community, so that I just can call somebody and just share what is going on at that time and that phase of my life. So that's betterment and belonging, and that became the mantra of what this foundation should be. And we borrowed the same name, Pi Nation, and just added foundation to it. It's a Section 8 company. And then Pioneer Foundation, gosh, it sounds so archaic, and how do you even talk about it? And then I shortened the name as Product Innovators Foundation. And then my cool friends shortened it even further and said PIFO, and that's PIFO. And that's how PIFO came into picture. And it's a very interesting phase of life, because I didn't know what an NGO is, what a Section 8 company is, and what we could do. We also had to go through the grill of what the government asks you to go for about 3 to 4 years, so that you can get that ATG status as a foundation. So we got it literally 1 year ago, which means we will be able to give income tax relief as well, which is amazing. I mean, for every foundation wants to do that. So we have the PIFO, and now we are wondering, okay, now that we have the entity, now that we have the intent, now that we have the heart, what can we do about it? And I think that's where we are at this moment. What are the things that I could do? I can talk about PIFO for the rest of the episode as well, but that's where we are starting. And then we figured out there are 7 C's that we can contribute. One is courses, clinics, for example, a career clinic, even health. We are all sitting all day and we are adding weight and we are not moving enough, things like that, right? So we can use clinics as well. Of course, content is at the center of everything. Like this, I came up with conferences, challenges, for example, write for 30 days and you get your money back, otherwise all your money goes to the foundation, things like that. So these were the fun ways in which, so I have used the last 5 years to experiment every C, and I have come to this conclusion that it works. All I need to do now is just to make it work by just working on the operationalizing the whole thing. So yeah, we are in a good place, I would say. So that's what PIFO is, and the place we are right now. I just had an opportunity to see if we can, create a space for PIFO. That is where everything started. But I also wondered, if it is a space for PIFO, then what do we call it? So kind of called it a third space, because the first space is usually your home. The second space is usually your work. Space is a place that we usually don't have, where we be and where we belong and where we become better. So that's pretty much, here we are. And I hope all our product innovators feel free to come here and have fun. And it's also a party space, by the by. It's not all serious, only work. We are too much fun and less work. So yeah, there we go.
Karthi, tell us about your upcoming book. What inspired you to write, and which habits have made the biggest impact for you?
Book, or I should say books. Because when we were thinking about PIFO as a strategy, I keep saying we as if there are many people, and I was thinking about it. I realized that India as a country, all said and done, the spending potential is lesser. For example, we have these courses that are available for some $2,000, $3,000, but India can't afford that. But definitely our product innovators do need the beauty of learning. We need that course here. So how can I make $2,000 to 200 rupees? Like, that was the thought process. Not that I know everything about product innovation, but I can share whatever little I know. And that is where this idea of books started coming. I am somebody who is surrounded by books all the time, because I feel comfortable, even cozy, as if I'm surrounded by all the wise and intelligent people with me all the time. And that feeling itself elevates me. And I realized that not that I read every book, and the sundoku is very real, the Japanese term for buying books and not reading them, right? But I have made peace with it, because it gives you that warm feeling. So that's where I wanted to start. And I'm like, I want to pour in everything that at least I know, in books, and that's how PIFO Press started. I still don't know about ISBN and other things because I have no clue. We are still figuring it out and we will figure it out. But the idea was, imagine all of us pour in our thought process, our learnings, our frameworks, our ways of the tips, tricks, techniques into a few pages. And if that pages are available to our community at a much lower cost, that is where this idea of a book started coming. And the minute I said a book, then so many ideas kind of gushed in, and they have transpired into 7 books in the making. I haven't had success with writing all 7, and I realized that it is important for you to have a lot of time and space to really write something on that level. No wonder a writer is a job. I used to do it more like a part-time job while I was waiting for my food to be delivered, stuff like that. But this is a full-time job and I don't have that full-time. So what I have done is I've taken all the things that I have done so far in the form of masterclasses, workshops, lectures, and kind of put it into different buckets. So the first book that's coming out is Design Careers, because this is one of the most asked questions by designers, like, what do I do and how do I break in, how do I grow, how do I transition to a manager, things like that, right? These are all questions around design career, and I felt very comfortable talking about it because I live it. So that's the first book. The second book is a very book in one sense, because the AI era, people keep talking about AI. But in all honesty, I really want to touch the heart and say this from my side. I didn't understand a thing because I'm not from a machine learning background. I did not know enough about deep learning. You need to have the time and space to actually go deeper to understand. And it is full of mathematics. I love math, and that's not a usual statement that you get from a design community as well. I was like, how is anybody actually understanding AI, or are we just hyping it up? Just because we use ChatGPT, does that make us into AI professionals? So that's what prompted me to write the second book, which is Hey AI, like the Hello World. It's called Hey AI. To just talk about, I expect it to build into volumes. AI for consumers is what I'm first writing. Probably AI for product makers will be the second volume. Like that, we can go on and on, however depth we want to go. But the Pareto principle is like the 20% stuff that the 80% people use, that's what the first book is going to be. So I have done metabolic health experiments for the past decade. So that would be Sensible, and that's the third book. I can go on like this, but that's how it was transpiring into an authorship journey. And PIFO inspired me because if you actually look at it, let us say you can't take sessions by Brené Brown, and it is, one, you are not in the same time zone, 2, you have to pay a hefty amount. But actually, if you take one of her books and read it, there is a part of her you would have actually understood through the books. Writing a book, when the author puts it in a very responsible way, it kind of helps you not to spend so much, just a few hours and a few rupees, and you will be able to gain from their 20 years of living and loving that subject. So I think a book is a great way for us to get started of spreading awareness, spreading knowledge, sharing what we know. So that's the authorship journey.
Topic, you've built a strong personal brand. I know you write a lot. You write through your websites. You also write very frequently on LinkedIn. You have a very strong following. What's your approach to authentic personal branding?
The word itself is scary, right? And you say you have a strong personal brand. I don't think so. Purely because if you look at a lot of people in LinkedIn, they are far better than me. They write far better things. But here is my sense of, again, coming back to what I said, leaving the world a better place than how I found it. If you look at writings, these are a time machine in one sense. What I was thinking 6 years ago, I can just go to my LinkedIn and figure it out. It is there, it is existing, right? Tomorrow, even after my time, it will still be there. That's how I look at writing. If I have all these writings in my, say, a Notion workspace or something like that, it is not available. But when it is available, people kind of interact with it, give you questions, thoughts, more ideas. I think that interactivity made it a lot more worth it. So I realized that beyond all my fears and imposters and other things, it is important for me to share this, whatever I'm thinking, to the younger Karthi. Like 5 years ago, if this would have helped me, then I want to share it. 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 20 years ago. So that timeline and that idea, I keep testing with me because I don't know. See, before you put out, you don't know how it is going to resonate. If it doesn't resonate with you also, probably you shouldn't put it out. And only things that strongly resonate with me, I put it out. I think that has been a great litmus test for me, because if it resonates with the younger me, I'm sure people who are in that phase of life, that stage of life, would find it useful. And because I'm writing it to the public, I also write it with a little more responsibility. I can't BS around. So it needs a little bit of thought process and, weaving, tightening, making it better. So that is what drives me to put out content, purely because you can, collect the dots as you go forward. You can connect the dots only backwards. You can't do it forward. So if somebody is, say, 5 years younger to me and going through the same issue that I went through, it is easier for me to share, hey, this terrain is like this landscape, here are thorns, don't go here, there is a deep pit, stuff like that. I will be able to say because I've walked that path. And that is how I look at writing. And this framing also takes the pressure off me that I have to say it perfectly. There's nothing called as perfect. I will change my mind if somebody comes and says that's not the right way to think. I think that ability to connect with our community on an everyday basis, that's a boon. Beyond my fears, I think the plus is far higher than the minuses. Yeah.
So, want to know how is AI currently influencing your day-to-day life, your leadership journey, and any tips you have for the viewers?
AI is the companion I missed all these years. Trust me when I say this. Because especially when you are somebody who is a thinker, who thinks a lot, it is important for you to be aware that there are so many pitfalls that we go through. There are at least 300 plus biases that every human being has. So the system one thinking versus system two thinking, as Daniel Kahneman says, system one is this impulsive, fast, like just put it out there. And your biases, your distortions, your fallacies, your fear, all of it are working as guardrails, and that is what comes out of your system one, which means whatever comes out is tainted in one sense. But for you to, remove all this and think clearly and to go forward, you need a systems two thinking, which is very rare. And it's very hard to do it alone as a human being, right? Because you are this biased person fighting against your biases. That's a comedy, right? So that is where AI helps you, because you are asking it to give a different perspective. You are asking it to tighten your script, question your thoughts, things like that. So it's like having a partner who is available to you at all times, just on your fingertips. So AI has been it plays multiple roles, but definitely a role of an amplifier, like a thought partner, like an intern. Sometimes I ask it to do, like, just don't question me, just do it. This is what I want you to do. It does. And it also doesn't retaliate so much, so that's kind of fun. On the other side, I ask it to kind of spar with me. So it's kind of working as my partner. So it's amazing that I get to work with someone who is super intelligent, not because of the intelligence, but I believe in vector algebra more than anything, because it is able to kind of understand things, what is closer, what is farther. This is making AI consume the whole knowledge of the world. I wouldn't be able to do that. It's like having a very intelligent intern with you at all times. I think that's a very powerful thing. I don't know, when people talk about the fear that it may replace you, the fear is real because it knows a lot more than me, and it writes far better than me, and it kind of connects the dots, much much faster than me. So definitely the fear is real. If AI can do all this, why me, is a question that we all go through. But that being said, I think together we make the mathematics different. 1 plus 1 is 11 with AI. Otherwise, it's just 1. For AI, also, it's just 1. But because we came together, we become this amazing, outcome driving machines. My agency, along with the agency of the AI, it kind of, makes it far better. I think my life has become better. My leadership style has become better. My clarity of thought has become better. There is no area that I would say that it is not improved with AI. So I'm a very big believer that AI is your amplifier, and it will help you to go ahead and do what you do really well. If you're good, you will become great. But I think if you're bad, you'll become worse. So that's what AI does to you. In the AI age, especially if you are on a break and you are trying to get back into workforce, if you are from a different field getting into AI, in one sense, I think it has become a level playing field, because all of us are playing in the same level, right? All of us are learning AI. All of us are trying to grapple. All of us are. So, in one sense, whoever has the agency, whoever has the ability to learn faster, whoever is able to think first principles, whoever is able to go through the Pareto, right? Just catching that 20% which will help you do 80% of your job really well, I think they will win. And the whole arena is open, and anybody can jump in, because AI kind of makes all of us the same. So that is a great place to start. In case, I mean, I'm a very positive person, and I feel this is a place for us to have a positive sum world. In a zero sum world, if somebody is +2, somebody should be -2 so that it becomes 0. But in a positive sum world, somebody is +2, somebody is +3, somebody is +1, somebody is +0.1. We are still, 7.1. That's positive, right? So I think AI is allowing each one of us to be a magnified version of us, and that is important for you to bring. So in one sense, it's like 8.5 billion people in a magnified way, and that's what AI can do to us. And I don't think all 8.5 are going to embrace AI in many ways. If you look at the chasm, it is very true, right? The early adopters will win, and if you are one of them, I think you should go ahead and jump and run towards AI, so that you will be able to bring that agency in you and start really, closing the chasm. Because there are going to be people who are not going to get on this bandwagon, and they will be left out. And I used to say that the shape of a growth is pyramid. Like if it was a cylinder, then all our classmates, all our workmates, all our community mates, we'd have grown like this. But this just never happens. It happens like this. So which means your friends will wither away. There are people who will not catch up with you. There are people who might not embrace, and who will sit and talk about why AI is dangerous and stuff like that. I think you should move faster in the pyramid, rather than listening to all these witherings around you. That's the most honest thing I can say, because I want you to personally, using your intelligence, raw intelligence, see what is working, what is not working. I understand collectively there might be some harm and other things, ethics and responsibility. Many topics are there. But can we do something about it? That's where the human-centered designer in me keeps asking questions about humanity-centered design. Can we save the polar bears? Can we save the penguins? Can we change the climate? If yes, then go make that as your life. If that is not your life, there is no point talking about it. Go talk about things that is in your locus of control. Your locus of control is so small, super small, only you. And that is all is there for us to work with. And the locus of influence is much larger with the AI, entering into every product. I hope you will make the best out of this, because it's a level playing field. Whoever runs faster gets there faster.
Karthi, it was very, very inspiring. Thanks for taking time, bringing me to your third space. It's inspired me a lot. So earlier we were talking about how you need a community, you need a space where you can think, be creative. So I love coming here. So if you're someone who's in and around Hyderabad and want a space like that, please reach out to Karthi. Karthi, any final messages for our viewers? Anything you want to talk about?
Advice is a loaded word.
Yeah.
So let me try and say a few things from first principles, from same as ever perspective, and how you can use that to propel this next decade or couple of decades going forward. I want to acknowledge that we are living in a very fast-paced world. We are living in a world full of distractions. We are living in a world where there is always, 3x, 10x more than what you can do in the current moment, whether it is entertainment or work or, music choices. I think we are living in an abundance, based setting. And as human beings, we are not built for abundance, and this may throw us a little off. So please take care of your mental health and your physical health, your body and mind in short, because it's going to be an uphill journey for us to take care of this body and mind in such an abundant environment. There is a capitalism in everything that you are going to touch. Even an Instagram reel which inspires you might end saying that if you want to know more about this, and here is a course, buy it. So you're surrounded by, push marketing all the time. So for you to be you, it's going to be extremely hard. So I would say that take care of yourself, and probably these third spaces are needed for all of us, for us to be ourselves, for us to be, for us to just, spend time with this piece of life. I think that is a very hard thing. The rest of it, you will somehow, the tide will take you. But this, you need to work on it. So working on your body and mind, because it is going to be irreplaceable. This is the only piece that you got for the rest of this life. Even if you can, change, transplant and all, it's expensive. 1, 2, it doesn't work the same way. So I think it is important for us to take care of this part, which we don't talk about so much when we talk about growth. If you don't have a great canvas, your painting may suffer a little. So I would say it is important for us to take care of it all the more now, especially because we have become exponentially faster with AI. So, yeah.
Amazing. And so for the viewers, Growth Circle brings stories of real women leaders whom you can talk to, connect with. So we'd love to hear from Karthi. How can our audience, especially women entrepreneurs and leaders, reach out to you?
I have made myself totally approachable. You can write a DM to me in LinkedIn. My phone numbers are widely available. So if you can write to me in WhatsApp, I make myself available, approachable for our community, because I missed being able to reach out to people who are, say, 2 steps ahead of me or 20 steps ahead of me, to ask them, like, how do I do this? And that is where PIFO also comes in, where all the product innovators come in and be a part of this community. So I try and make sure that I spend enough time there, answering every questions that I can answer. And this is a very active, intentional work that I'm doing, which means you shouldn't be shying away from reaching out to me. And please don't overthink about my calendars, that I might be busy and you will be disturbing me. My calendar I will take care, but if there is a need for you to reach out to me, please do reach out. I usually respond back in like 24 to 48 hours. If I don't, just bump it up a little bit, and I try and make sure. If it is a genuine help that you need, I am always available, just a ping away. There's some corner of internet you will be able to find me.
Amazing. I think Karthi is very approachable. I personally met her a few months back through a mutual friend, and it's been amazing. And I know she mentors so many people. So like Karthi said, if you are someone who's looking for help, don't overthink it. Feel free to reach out to Karthi, and through LinkedIn. We'll share the details in the description as well. Amazing. And Karthi, any final thoughts about Growth Circle, what we do, and any advice for the Growth Circle team?
What you're doing is hard work, Sindhu. Sindhu and Apu, I haven't met you, but this is the part where it gets harder. Traveling all the way to Hyderabad to meet your mother for Diwali, leaving your little son with your family, coming all the way to meet me. This is the hard work, right? And why are you doing it? You are doing it so that you will be able to bring all these stories to reality. So take a bow. It is important for us to appreciate people who do this part of work. I have done a lot of what you are doing now, and I know how hard it is. It is not just this talk. After this, there is editing, there is, music, there is cutting and making sure all the ahs and ums and all the goof ups that I did. It is work. So we are already in a fast moving, work world. On top of it, doing this, on top of it, family, on top of it, there are multiple roles that we are playing, and this role nobody asked you to play. But despite that, you're doing it, so it's commendable. Thank you so much for doing it. These are people whom you can reach out in LinkedIn, and they may answer you. Unlike people who are 200 steps ahead of you, like how you said, I can't talk to Indra Nui. I want to ask her a lot of questions, but I can't. I can't talk to Oprah. I can't talk to Brené Brown. But there is somebody who is local, who is available, who is probably been there, done that before you. And I think that is what you are bringing to the world through Growth Circle. All the very best, and you have my fullest support. Let me know however I can help. Whom should I connect you with? Let's make it grow. And I think it is not just your work. Yeah. It is our work that we need to do this for our community. Yeah. So I am always available to help and support. And if PIFO can be any part in this, let me know.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Karthi. And like you said, Growth Circle is a community-driven model. We've been able to do it because of a lot of support from our team. And so definitely looking forward to connecting with you and knowing more and growing together. Thank you so much.